How's it going, everybody, and welcome to another ride along with RONIN 47R. This is a little sneak peek and not a review, just a sneak peek at the brand new Tier 6 Snakebite. And this is a premium for the British line. But we'll get into all that. Going to go ahead and jump into the garage and walk you through all that kind of fun stuff. If you want to skip right to the battles, I have a couple battles for you. Just jump over to about the 21-minute mark. All right, there should be a link down below in the description. All right, sit back and enjoy. And I went ahead and did the update while I'm getting ready for work. And now before I run off to work, I wanted to take a look and see what changes were made, because today, the 31st, is something special. You can see they have the rollout Snakebite 1 operation. And you know what that means, don't you? Well, if you didn't hear, it has to do with something new. And as you can see over here, let's go ahead and, and pay no attention, by the way. Pay zero attention at the sweet MOE on my Yogdapon, my Kanonin Yogdapanzer. Okay, back to the program. Going over to the store, since it has a star on it, you can see there's something new. I always like to knock out the specials first, just because I don't want to miss out on something if I really need it. So you got, if you need a silver boost, boom. And so this guy's 36% off, 20% off, some good stuff here if you're into that. I don't ever buy any of this stuff. The only thing I ever buy is if on a pinch, I buy silver. Well, and premium. And garage space. But that's it. Okay, tanks. What do we got? Here it is. So let's start from the other side first. S35 is back up for sale. Wow, 57% off. Wow. Well, you know I collect them all, but still, that's actually a pretty sweet tank. He's a sweet tank. Oh, they see. Okay, and this is a point of contention in our community. So as you can see here, they're offering the T127 at the same exact time. You can get the base, you can get loaded, you can get fully loaded, and by now I'm sure you probably know what the differences are. But for those of you that are brand new, basically it's base model, extra stuff, extra stuff. So for depending on what you want to purchase and what your price point is, it's a nice offering where it's like, hey, you have 3 choices and you can make your choice right now. You're not going to miss out or be left behind just because you can't afford or want to spend the big bucks. You can see here with the Brazilian Bulldog, they're doing the same thing, although they're just going with fully loaded versus loaded. Same principle, but only 2 layers. One could argue that they need a base model, but moving on. Now this is the one that is kind of a point of contention, because as you can see here, they're selling this in the newer style of their marketing strategy versus these 3 here are the older style, 3 flavors offered at the same time. Cosmic Carry actually did a video giving his opinion about this, and this is the type of thing that he was referring to. Well, this is actually the tank that he was referring to, because and you can see here, you're going to pay the big enchilada here. It's the ultimate. It's the big enchilada at 5,800, and then you have to wait several days to get a loaded version, and then you wait several days, if not weeks, until you get the base model. So some are arguing that is unfair. I personally, we have the choice not to purchase, not to play, and all that kind of fun stuff. Absolutely. So you can argue in that direction. But as far as just my simple opinion, my wish list, absolutely, they should be offering the 3 flavors at the same time, and not just the big one only ahead of time. Also, too, my opinion is that, and this is going back towards the Kanonin Yogdapanzer, which I totally love. Yeah, in order to get that tank, you have to purchase it in that one package, and then I couldn't earn the hammer on its own. Yeah. Anyway, so I don't mean so I didn't like that. That's my point. You should be able to get it separately. Enough of my rant. Here's the Snakebite Ultimate. Sorry about that. It's early. I haven't had coffee, so I'm like all messed up. So you've got the 6.1, the Tier 6 Snakebite. Now this is just like the Knight, if you will, but it's a light tank, so it's geared differently, and we're gonna go over the details at a later time. Well, for you it's gonna be simultaneous. It's gonna be immediate, but for me it's real time. It's gonna be later. So, of course, you get the crew, you get the Snakebite skill, which we're still not sure if that's going to be a skill that's available to other people, other crews in the future. I guess I can check that. Camouflage net, GLD, because you can't get a V-stab. Gun rammer, Yeah, I don't know. That's interesting. I don't know if I'd set them more. I wonder if I would set them more like a light tank for observation, but whatever. Got some shells, got 7 days premium, and then you get the operation, and that's pretty much it. And so now I am, well, I can't look until I purchase it. I can't really look at the what do you call it, the individual stats. So I'm not going to do that right now. What I am going to do though is I'm curious to see if I wanted to have my crew get a different, the snakebite thing. Is the snakebite thing available to other crews? These are skills that I do not own on this particular crew, and I don't see it available. Maybe it's too soon. I don't know. We're gonna have to find out about that. All right, guys. What I'll do is I will catch you in a few moments in your time, much later in my time, and we'll go ahead and take a deeper look here at the snakebite. Back and ready to take a look at the latest tank, the Snakebite. You can see here, Snakebite 1 is already in effect there, and it says destroy 5 or more vehicles in any number of. I wonder how that's not really related to the tank other than the name. Interesting. Wonder what that's all about. Just to raise the hype, I guess. Okay, so this is just a first look. This is not a review or anything of that nature. I set those aside for like truly in-depth, super deep, serious stuff. And we're now going to go ahead and take a look at the options, which is a whole one. So my first impression, first look, said this before, you may have heard this on the grapevine. You can see here there's one package, which is the ultimate package for 1,500 gold. The next one, I do not remember the exact date that it's coming out. But in the future, it'll be for 4,700 with some fewer things. And then, of course, the 4,300 gold price September 12th, according to... oh, there you go. Okay, so it's September 5th and then September 12th. So that's kind of the new marketing style that they have introduced. I am personally not a fan of it, but for obvious reasons, or maybe not obvious reasons, I need to get this thing now, get the vids out, and move forward. The only other thing I'll go ahead and mention is that it does come with a Snakebite crew skill, which, as far as the documentation says so far, it's not going to be available anywhere else. Now we're officially entering the world of pay to win, or at least, you can only acquire something by paying, and I'm not a big fan of that. So just putting that on record. So hopefully they mend their ways on that. All right, so we went ahead and got this thing. It's this Cromwell Snakebite. Don't confuse it with the Cromwell medium tanks. These are going to be two different animals, relatives but different. Also, too, you're looking through here. We do get a camouflage net, a GLD, and a medium caliber gun rammer. 7 days of premium, 1 garage slot. Then, of course, you have access to the operation. So let's go ahead and jump through there. And I'm just taking a quick look. And correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't the icon right above in the center, above the... Okay, so here I'm highlighting the Brazilian, and now I'm highlighting the Snakebite Ultimate. The icon in the middle that it represents the equipment, tell me I'm wrong, but doesn't it look like a V-stab? So, I don't know. Maybe I'm confused. I'll look at the equipment in the garage, but I don't recognize that icon as being a a GLD. So let's go ahead and bring in, whoops, not favorites. Let's bring in premium. Let's bring in light tank. Let's bring in British, and abracadabra. There should be only one, making him a favorite. And now we can really identify this guy. And there you go. See the icon for the equipment? That is a GLD icon. The icon that they're representing in the store is a V-stab. So little misleading there, a little confusing. Probably just an oversight there. I almost said overbite because I'm looking at the tank that says Snakebite. So let's go ahead and jump right into this tank. I mean, check this thing out. It is pretty darn cool. I mean, I've always been a big fan, as you know, of the Cromwell. I mean, that tank itself is a really nice tank. Then you have the Knight, really nice tank, and now you have this brother, cousin. I don't know. Let's see how closely related they are. Not sure. So what we're going to do, first thing is first, is let's go ahead and take a look at what you can customize. Aha, camouflage not available, because this is what you get. I'm a big fan. Look at that three-dimensional. And when I say three-dimensional, I mean, it's not just paint. I mean, you literally have that stuff hanging off the pseudo moss. It's obviously a tore up netting, if you will. But that to me looks rad. That is cool. And then the dark, straight, flat green, that's fine. That's cool. Emblems. Let's go ahead and take a look at that action. Looks like there will be only one spot for an emblem, as per the typical Cromwell style. And we're going to go ahead and slap our guy on there. Good old stripes. Boom, boom, and boom. So there you go. Now, I am not going to put any inscriptions. You don't really see me doing that sort of thing. Equipment, again, you did see that does come with the net, the GLD, and then a gun rammer. So you know what this tells me? This right here screams to me. Well, okay, I'll start from the top. This says to me, you're not moving and you want more stealth. This says to me, you're not moving and you want to get your gun into the fight as soon as possible. This tells me you want to continue to keep your gun in the fight as soon as possible. So what this sounds to me like is not the type of tank we're going to driving. Not that I'm saying you can't, but I don't see it set up as a primary, peek-a-boom or let's drive in circles around somebody. This is more of a stealthy tank that's going to observe. Although, I don't know. I mean, let's take a look at the equipment here. Not equipment. Let's look at the stats. You do have, I'm just kind of looking here, the radio. So they're really communicating far. Got it. You have the 75mm gun. So very, very weak gun. And then view range, 370. So, man, if you're going to have me sit still for camouflage net, then I don't know why I don't have binoculars to extend that range, especially with the radio and that sort of thing. Otherwise, lose the net and do something else. I don't know. To me, it feels like the equipment setup that it came with hasn't quite made up its mind to play it and figure it out. Also, too, this thing has 20 rounds of fire, and if it's firing that quickly, and if you're going to get a boost, let's go here for the new folks. If you're going to get a boost of 10%, 10% of something that if something took a minute to reload, then you're saving 10% of a minute. That's awesome. If something took a second to reload, I mean, we're talking bang, bang, bang. If it's that quick, what's 10% of a fraction of a second? Not much. Why would you even bother doing that? So, and I'm giving you some extremes because, again, first look, if it's going to have a rate of fire of 20 rounds per minute, I don't think I'm going to keep it. I'm thinking about exchanging some equipment. I don't know what. I'm going to have to feel it out, but just not feeling in that direction right now. Meanwhile, aim time, 1.89. Again, GLD for an 1.89 aim time. Yeah, it's not the super quickest, but that's not a bad aim time at all. Accuracy, 0.4. So you're inaccurate, but you have a pretty fast aim time. Well, that sounds to me not like a sniper, but okay. I don't know. I'm kind of mixed up about how I feel about the equipment setup. Crew, let's take a look at Mr. Crew here. As promised, it is Simon Lynette. I don't know why I just did it with an accent. That's kind of weird, but now what I'm going to go ahead and do is he obviously needs a new item to train on, and what is a big in vogue thing to do is go ahead and train repairs. And the reason being is that it is a skill, so as it gets stronger, more enhanced. Oh, that's cool that he's a cartoon guy like the comic. I just realized that. As it gets more enhanced, then it's going to be used. It's 50%. It's going to be used. It's going to be a plus 50%. Now, once it's 100%, go ahead and select something like 6 cents, which is a perk, which is an on or off. It's either fully used once it's on, or it's not fully used. It's not used at all until it's 100%. So at least this way, while it's being trained, I can have some advantage of utilizing or benefiting from the repair. Now, taking a look again at the skills here, and this is the skill that only comes with this tank, with this purchase, with this package. Again, not a big fan that because I'm buying it, other people don't get it unless they buy it. Because this is the first, literally, I believe this is the very first item that is a plus, an advantage over folks who do not spend real money. Everything else can be acquired, not a premium tank, but I mean, nonetheless, you can get a tank, and heck, the premium tanks are better than non-premium tanks, so that I don't have a problem with that. But the Snakebite, I don't know, improves your gunnery's accuracy. The skill is more effective when combined with vertical stabilizer, snapshot, and smooth ride. So to me, this is a run and gun, which is interesting. This is a run and gun skill But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. So there you go. You got Cobra Commander skill, which is what I'm now going to call it. And we're going to go ahead and listen to dogs bark, which is super great. I love it so much. Yes, please. Please bark as much as you can. Absolutely. So I'm going to go ahead and do what I normally do, which is I put in consumables there. Perfect time for the dog. I'm going to wring its neck. And I'm only kidding, animal lovers. So there you go. You have your repair kit, small first aid kit. I run the consumables there. I'm going to switch this guy up to a silver, and I'm going to increase him by, if anyone can muffle that dog, you know, I permanently, that'd be great. Let's see here. I'll just throw that in there. I have no idea. I don't know. Yeah, maybe I'll back it off. Maybe let's go that route for now. And then 2948. You're going to run into some unarmored guy. You're going to shoot him, maybe use HE on him, maybe. 131, 219 for the damage versus 83, 138. Is it really worth mixing up your rounds? They cost the same as AP. Okay, I'll live life on the edge. I'll put in 2. So you're welcome. Okay, I think we're set. We are set and ready to go for our first shot at this thing. Now, meanwhile, ops. It's automatically selected, I guess. Yep, I guess it was automatically selected. So it's just your typical earn 20,000, get 1 day of premium, and you get your 30,000 silver. Now, what would be a complimentary thing for this is damage dealer, destroy 1 or more light tanks. Maybe. Detect. I'm probably going to be detecting. Earn top gun. Yeah, right. Here we go. Let's go with that for right now. And then meanwhile, what is this going to see? He's a tier 6. And happy, joy, he's only going to go up to tier 8. So that is something that was up in the air in the community. This is a light tank. We were afraid, concerned, at least we're contemplating the thought that this would be light tank or scout tank matchmaking. So interesting. It is a light tank, but yet only has tier 8 matchmaking. So let's go ahead and jump over to something else that's a little interesting, which is let me just renegotiate this bad boy here, which would be this and 6 and British, and there you go. All right, so let's go ahead and cop out. What I mean by cop out, I mean like let's be lazy. I'm just gonna do the overview right quick. And I'm just going to flip back and forth looking at certain things. So like, for instance, camouflage, average. However, remember, light tanks do not lose their camouflage value while they're moving. View range, 370, 360, 360. So he gets a 10-meter boost. Big whoop. Gun-wise, okay, 75 millimeter. But notice this guy's gun mark 7, Vickers HV, and he's a mark VA, so they are different guns. All right, rate of fire, 15.3, 20, okay. Hit points, 750. Interesting. A light tank with a medium tank's equivalent hit points. Speed, 64, 80. Yikes. Acceleration, 650. Now look at the bar graph. Why? Well, because it's saying 650 horsepower. Okay, got it. But look, what am I losing to go that much faster, that much quicker acceleration wise, as well as top speed itself? And if I were to take a look at this guy here, so his rate of fire is a little slower. He has a much higher pen. Same aim time and accuracy. So definitely a relative gun. Notice the engine here is, though, a tier 5 engine. And you do get a boost to a tier 6 gun. This guy here, of course, is a non-premium. Jumping all the way over here. And you can see we have a way better radio and so on and so forth. But there you go. He has, again, very similar to the Knight. So definitely different. So now the other thing, just taking a quick look at, was the chassis rotation, 52, 36, 50. Bam. So he's only just a little bit faster than Knight. Once again, Knight is awesome. Turret rotation, 48 degrees, and 52 degrees. So this guy can turn and burn like no other. So maybe I'm not going to use them as a, predominantly as passive scouting. I don't know. I don't know. So the other thing too, let's go ahead and jump into, I wish you could do it. Well, I guess you can. Okay. We'll look at it from this view. So you have 42 in the front. I'm going to do whole first. 42, 64, 64. Big difference. 42, 42, 42, 43. So very similar. Okay, so you get the same back. They get 1 millimeter armor more on the sides, but where they're saving weight is you lose 22 millimeters of armor in the front hull. Turret-wise, 76, 64, 57. So look at that. You get a lot of armor loss. So that's where the weight saving is coming from. Interesting. Now, I'm going to have to debate. Notice how I use... if you know how I use my mediums, maybe use them similarly. GLD, tank rammer, and then the vents. Big fan of vents because it improves many skills all at once, a plus 10%. Maybe I'll switch out that net and put in the vents. I don't know. It depends on how I'm going to play this guy. So more on that later. And I'm going to take one last look here. 144 for the, which isn't bad for the premium. Although it's a little costly, but you're still only getting 110. Use this thing right though. It'll pay for itself. All righty then. I think we are ready to take it for a spin. You guys ready? Let's do this thing. Okay, folks, howdy, 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 and we are jumping into a game here. Now, I have two games for you. The first one's going to open up on Siegfried Line War. I want you to pay close attention to a couple things. First of all, this was a game in which I was running the binocs and the camouflage net because my thought process behind this was I was just going to treat it pretty much like a light tank that was going to be responsible for a lot of spotting. The damage on this that the gun does here, which is the second highest package on the Cromwell, by the way, it's very, very low, and you're going to see tier 6, 7, and 8. This is a premium tank, so with that in mind, if you make it work, if you actually connect, you can use a lot of premium and still come out ahead, but I just really wasn't having very good games in this tank. I'm not going to blame it on the tank, I'm going to blame it on me. I've had other tanks where I started off and it was very challenging for me to get to know it. And then later on I turned out, doing pretty well with it. But, I only played, we'll see at the end of the video, but 20-something games in total to finish off the op. And like I said, this is a game that I want to show you where I'm set up more like a sniper, more like a scout. And here I am sniping with the binoculars. I have about a 450 meter view range, and I'm getting some pretty decent rolls there. But I took out what came with it, GLD and gun rammer, to make this a full-on monitoring station on wheels here on treads. Now what I'm trying to do is, because this thing cannot take a hit and has very low hit points. I mean, it looks like a Cromwell, but it has so much not in common with it. We've already gone over the stats, and it's painful. Folks are seeing me getting some blind shots there, and going in reverse is very, very slow. You pretty much need to get up to speed and go forward to really enjoy the mobility of this tank. You can also see, and again, if you're familiar with the gun here, it is a tier 5 gun. Very slow. Even has an arc. Excuse me. Had some trouble penning. I mean, you're going to see a lot of white circles or grayed out circles showing that you should not be able to pen what you're shooting at. Now here I'm using premium. Nicked him there, but it's so slow. I mean, and of course the accuracy is 0.40. It's tough. You cannot get close because you're gonna get penned, but then you really can't snipe, so you have to figure out how to use this thing. Perhaps it's a light tank version of the Cromwell, in that you're just gonna run around and make a run on the Death Star and go really fast. So I'm still figuring out my playstyle. I'm curious to hear what you guys think about it. You know, if you leave the target, get some nice timed blind shots on... whoops, that one was not good. But watch this. There you go. See? I mean, it's doable, but this is not a tank that's going to carry the team. It is not a tank that is... it doesn't seem to really turn the tide. I have some tanks where I feel like I can really turn the tide of a game. This one, not so much. I really feel like I'm at the mercy of the rest of the team. And you really need some folks around you, because if you are the center of attention, it will be absolutely painful. Very, very fast. I don't recall... You know, I think I do have in this video a pretty cool jump, but we'll see. So I stopped there, and here you go, 470 meters. 91 points, and too late to even see if it was going to pen there. Here's a snakebite, but our guys cap, even though there's only 2 guys left, so thanks for cheating me of some damage. Remember, guys, please don't cap unless you really need to. Alright, so there you go. Finished off that game, and it's just not an impressive game. Sure, I came in 2nd place, but I was struggling. I was struggling to come up with games that I can show you even this much. This last game here that I'm going to show you really put my thinking cap on, and this is a game where I've by now what I've done is I've gone back and set it up pretty much like the Knight, like the Cromwell. Got rid of my camouflage net, got rid of my binoculars, kept the vents, and put the gun rammer and GLD back in this thing. Because I feel like, you know, even with the camouflage net, I mean, this only has an average camouflage rating. It just wasn't working out for me. So I figured, you know what? Forget it. If I'm going to be seen, I might as well get back my DPM and my quicker aim and that sort of thing. The only thing this really seems to have over the Knight or the Cromwell is the simple fact that it's faster, and that it does not lose its camouflage rating on the move, because of course by nature it's a light tank. Other than that, I don't really see why I would even run this tank, to be honest. I mean, I'm glad I got it. If you're a collector, you're gonna want to get it. I mean, it's gonna be fun just to kind of mess around with. It's yet another tank to get a ×2 off for your crew, and so on and so on and so on. But this was, you know, this is kind of a pinnacle. I just hope that Wargaming didn't jump the shark on this one for a couple of reasons that I discussed in the garage with the skill that you can only purchase. But also, I hope they're not just repainting tanks, changing a few soft stats or hard stats and giving it a name and expecting you to buy it, because you know, again, this tank just doesn't really, I don't get it. Some people are going to love it. Some people are going to hate it. There's going to be people in between. But it, you know, I feel like I'm playing with the Ripper gun. You know, I feel like I'm M4 Sherman gun or something. I mean, I'm just really working my butt off, and you can see up to tier 8. So I don't know. I'm going to continue to try to crack the code, but not really in a rush to play this tank. This is one of those, I get it, I play it, put out a little vid for you, and once in a while I'll touch it. Maybe I'll figure it out. Maybe I'll fall in love with it or whatnot. I don't know. I love the way it looks. You know, it is super duper awesome. That is very cool. But if I wasn't a collector, I don't know if I would have gotten this one. The other hard part too is I'm trying to do these games, and I literally have a no skill, no perk crew. But you have the Snakebite skill. Okay, big whoop. It supposedly gives you a better shot on the move. Yippity yippity yay. For a tank that doesn't want to get hit, one of the biggest things I think you're going to need in a light tank is 6th Sense. So not having that was really painful. Not to mention a lot of the other skills that I'm used to testing out premiums in by dropping in a crew member that has some skills and abilities. This tank kind of reminds me of when I was trying to film the T-34-3, which back in the day I did not know how to run. It was the most challenging Chinese premium tank for me to get some good games to share with you guys. Look at these bounces. He's grayed out. Good luck with that. Switch to premium. Nothing. Nothing. I mean, that's premium. Bounced. Oh, look, I got lucky. I got a shot. So, I don't know. I don't know. And that was a tier 6 heavy tank, correct? And I see tier 8. I don't know. We'll see. You know, when I set it up, not in this game, but the other game where I set it up with the camouflage net, the binoculars, I was thinking along the lines of, I'm not going to be shooting people much. It's not really going to make a difference. You are going to be spotting. You're going to be living off of spotting damage. It was a hard time for me doing that even. So back to the GLD, the gun rammer, and the vents for myself there. All right, so it is a quick repositioner, so that's cool. Now there's a Snakebite right here, and he's full health. I mean, I'm a little concerned because even if I win, it's going to take a lot out of me. So far, so good. And shooting on the move is really challenging. There is actually some skill to it. You don't just lock on and cross your fingers. I mean, there's a way to aim the lock on, if you will. But that's a whole nother, discussion about whether you're shooting as you're turning and your speed, their speed, as well as, versus going in a straight line. But anyway, so luckily I got him whittled down to some pretty darn good HP deficits there, and he was a one-shot, and there he goes. So now we've turned the tide. Got kind of lucky, to be honest, in my opinion. This was a hard tank for me to get a good video for you. It was very hard to run. Is it because it's a light tank? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe did I psych myself out? It could be. I'm really looking forward to seeing, what posts you guys put, because surely some of you guys have this tank, and you're gonna chime in, and I invite you to chime in and let me know if it super sucks or if it's cool, or somewhere in between. But right now I'm sitting at three spots, and what is that? 5 or 6 spotting damage, 13 pens, 2 criticals, and 4 tanks taken out. So this is arguably the best game that I had. Not the highest damage game, but the overall the best game that I've had, and I only came in 2nd place, and that's with 20-something battles. Yikes. It's fun. It's almost more fun though driving the tank than it is battling. So we'll see. All right, let's see the post game stats here, and I shot a few premium. There you go. You can see the results there. I'm going to jump over to the details, and so there you go. So I shot 20, penned 13, and I only walked away with 1168 damage. Got 602 on the assisted damage. That's what helped a lot. You can kind of see the individual damages that I did to various tanks. So that's pretty much it as we wrap this up. I mean, I'm just going to leave you with a quick review of what's in the store. And on the way to the store, just taking a quick peek at the Operation Snakebite Ace. This is what it looks like when you complete it. You get a 1 day offer, 1 day of premium. I'm not tired at all. And you get some silver that goes with that. And it took me, I miscounted, it took me 18 battles to complete the operation. It was a struggle for me, very challenging, very difficult. You may have a better time at it. I only had 56% victories, 16 enemies destroyed, 68% hit ratio, which I'm surprised it was even that high, and so on. So we'll see how that turns out later on. I play the tank more. So last question, bottom line, is the Snakebite, good for you? I have no clue. August 31st, which is today, the Snakebite came out. You can see the setup there. We went over it. September 5th, they're bringing out the secondary bundle there, the loaded. And then on September 12th, they'll have the base model. I mean, if this is for you, I don't know. It does come with some stuff, which you may or may not find of value as a total package. That's for you to decide. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this little video, and I look forward to hearing your comments and seeing what you think about this tank. You guys take it easy, and I'll catch you on the battlefield. Now, where did my crew go off to? Oh, I see. There they are. Okay, girls, tell them who they are if they're receiving this transmission.
You are one of the 47 Ronin. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you later.